So 怎么 is really important. We've done 怎么样 before for how about something, but this one is going to be 怎么 plus a verb. In this case, 怎么走, how do I get there? 怎么请问去公园怎么走请问 excuse me 去公园 going to the park 怎么 how 走 of course 走 can be walk, but in this case, how do I get there or go there? Excuse me, how do I get to the park? Get to the park, go to the park. Get to the park probably in English. 这个游戏怎么玩 This game 怎么 how 玩 play. How do I play this game? Can you see that 怎么 goes in front of whatever you want to say how to do something? So it's just like in English. How do I go? How do I say? How do I do? How do I play? And the last one. 电影院用英语怎么走怎么说 How do I go to English? No. 怎么说 How do I say it in English? How do I say 电影院 in English? And you can often just, in context, leave out the 用英语电影院怎么说 Easy. Wang and Xiang are really important. I'm really glad that we're doing them together. When I first started learning Chinese, I learnt Wang by itself and didn't learn Xiang. So when Xiang was quite common, I was really confused. But now we're going to do them both at the same time. So as in the case when you come across something, two ways of saying the same thing, you have to learn to recognize both, but you only have to learn to remember to use one on your own. So remember to use one, but recognize both. And of course, the directions for compass are important too. In this case, dong for east and xi for west. And zuo and you for left and right. General structure, wang or xiang plus directions plus the verb. So let's have a look at the first one. 一直往前走, literally, 一直 continuously, 往 in the direction of, 前 front, 走 go. Continuously in the direction of front go, or go straight ahead. 一直 for straight ahead or continuously. 一直走 keep going straight ahead. 向东走，第二个路口往右转。In the direction of east, go. At the second intersection, in the direction of right, turn. This is actually much more logical if you're listening to directions than the English version. If you look at the English version, go east for the first part up to the comma, pretty much the same in Chinese or in English. The second part, if you're listening to it, then turn right at the second intersection. If you're listening to that, you're going, okay, turn right. Where am I turning right? At the second intersection. And you might have actually gone past the intersection by the time you realize what you're looking for. So it doesn't really make sense in English, even though you're going to say, yes, it does, because that's what you always say. It doesn't make as much logical sense. In Chinese, 第二个路口 at the second intersection. So the first thing you do when you hear that is look for that intersection. Then what are we doing there? 往右 in the direction of right, 转 turning. So you're looking for the intersection, then you think direction of right, turning. Much more logical in Chinese. Li. Earlier on we've done li, third tone. This is li, second tone. And different character entirely. Li means from, distance from. And it comes after the place. So I often reverse it when I'm saying it in English. So for example, this first one says, 我家离学校很近. I would see that and I would go in my head, my house from, or I'd say from my house, school very close. And as I'm thinking through that word order, I would allow my natural English brain to put that into a nicer English sentence. So from my house, the school is very close. My house is very close to the school. Natural English. 公园里学校不太远. From the park, school not too far. This is why you might hear when you hear, this is my understanding this, you might understand the first language influence on people who are not native English speakers when they say these sort of sentences. From the park, my school not too far. That's why the word order influences their second language. 商店离电影院远吗? Is the shop far from the cinema? 商店 for shop and 电影院 cinema. D for number. That came in quick, didn't it? D for number. First, second, third. Pretty easy, this one. 这是我吃的第二碗饭. This is my second bowl of rice. 我养的第一只猫叫可可. My first ever cat was called 可可. 第三个路口先右转. At the third intersection, in the direction of right, turn. Maybe I should be a voiceover artist for GPS and maps. At the third intersection, in the direction of right, turn. Turn right at the third intersection. 路口. Intersection is not new now, we did it a few minutes ago. 向, direction of, and 右转. Turn right. Last point, woohoo! 从 and 到, really useful, can both be used on their own, but really useful for both times and places. Here's the first example. 从我家到学校要走20分钟. From my house to the school takes, or need to go 20 minutes. Literal translation. It takes 20 minutes to walk from my house to the school. 从到, from my house to school. 从这里到公园怎么走? From here to the park, how do I go? How do I get to the park from here? And this might seem a bit illogical to say 从这里, isn't that understood? And you'd be right. You could just say 到公园怎么走? How do I get to the park? So 到 as far as or until. And you can also use it for time. The last one's time. 从星期一到星期五我骑自行车上学. From Monday to Friday, I ride my bike to school. And that's fairly simple. You can do other things like 从3点半到5点我学汉语. From 3:30 to 5. I study Chinese every day, as you do, I'm sure. I go to school by bike from Monday to Friday. 星期五, 星期五. You try now. Can you say these things in Chinese now? Excuse me, how do I get to the park? Go straight ahead. Turn left at the third intersection. The school is too far from my house. Is the Chinese restaurant far from here? I'm hungry. The second dog I had was named Bye Bye. You know why? Because he always ran away and I said bye-bye to him all the time. I'm a dad, it's a dad joke. It's okay. Moving on. How do I get to the school from the park? Hey, what are you doing in the park in the morning before school? Dodgy.